What's up, guys? My name's Theo. I play middle linebacker for the Hilversum Hurricanes. That is in Europe. I live in Amsterdam, Netherlands, all that jazz. Little country, northwestern-ish Europe. You can find it on a map. A lot of you probably misname it and call it Holland, but whatever, it's the Netherlands. Holland is a different area. Like, do you live in the United States of America, or do you live in Carolina or Dakota? Getting that one out of the way. I've had a couple comments previously on videos about that one. Anyways, so yes, I live in Amsterdam. I play Euroball. We are in, my team, the Hilversum Hurricanes, is in the top level of the Netherlands, and this upcoming season we'll be competing for the national championship. I do a live stream on every Saturday day for the United States, evening for Europe, and I put out football related content on Mondays and Fridays. However, I do vlog every day. So like yesterday I went out to a Nike outlet store. A couple days before that I went to the gym. Tomorrow's video I will actually be going out to the gym also. We have some news coming up for the second segment. Each one of these Friday videos I always put out a bit of comments, responses, and then I go with news, which as our season's coming up I will give you where our opponent is, you know, what time of day, you know, who will be playing, probably what we'll be wearing because home or away, yada yada. You know, if I get any new gear, it'll be in there. Plus, if it's a big enough piece of gear, new shoulder pads, helmet, yada yada, I will do a full video on that. But a new compression shirt, not necessarily its own video. Anyways, so, and then after that, tonight I'll be going to practice, and we are going to be working on some special team stuff as well as indies with the sled and stuff, linebacker, linemen's. Anyways, so yeah, I will move into comments right now and we'll see if I can answer any of the questions a bit more in depth than I already have. Way back on August 23rd, it was a rainy practice that day. Someone says he's not going to cap. This looks like some park ball. So that comment came in 6 days ago, which may have been on the last video. I'm not sure. Sometimes YouTube says 6 days ago and it's literally the day of. But anyways, I don't know what you mean by park ball stuff. I mean, I have an idea, and it's usually some sort of upper level, like, oh, well, you don't have turf fields, or, oh, you don't have lights. And I'm like, you know, not everyone plays in rich kid schools. So just because we're playing in the back of a baseball field, because the city is literally redoing our football field, doesn't mean it's park ball. And when I did live in the States and I played semi-pro, a lot of people would say, oh, you just play recreational park ball. And I'm like, no. And because it's not official, fancy, overhyped social media college or high school ball or even the NFL, like you guys could probably even say that, oh, this looks like park ball stuff, and they're literally professional indoor teams, but they just don't have the indoor field at that moment and need to go practice outdoors because football is football. So check yourself. Gabriel Soto asked, does it get hot? I think I remember answering this one. However, a lot of people think I'm way overdressed. However, if you look at that video, it was posted in January 22nd. My team back in the States practiced a lot in just the winter, like December, January, February, and our games were like March through June. And when you're in the Portland area, you're not getting warm and hot, as the rest of the country would call it, until July. And that's the joke. We're always going to be having rainy, stormy, chilly weather until July 4th. And then summer starts. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I live in Texas. This guy must obviously live in Texas too. And I would never wear that much stuff. And I'm like, well, first of all, I lived in Portland at the time. And now I live in the Netherlands, which it's colder. So I am wearing fair bit right now to practices because we're in the 60s in Sunset area. And as the winter goes on, it's going to get colder and colder. Pretty soon our practices are going to be what you guys would consider the low 40s to upper 30s at night on Thursday nights, maybe on Sundays. They'd be a little bit warmer, but we'll also be having games at that time. So like there was a game I had up in one of the northern cities called Groningen, and it was below 0 for Celsius. So it was like 28 degrees for Fahrenheit or something like that. We're out on the field, like yeah, it was strange. But yes, you dress warm when it's below freezing outside during a game. Ask your friends in Minnesota, Montana, and Alaska. Ryan Olson says, great video, and this was last week's Thursday video. Thanks. Jacob55 from the original suit up video says, I remember watching this 4 years ago. Understandable, a lot of people watch it for various reasons, probably to figure out how to put your football gear on, which I had not really the intention to do that. I just wanted to show off my cool looking gear and put it all on. Mitch McLeod on that same practice video from last week. Good to see you back in pads, even if only part of practice. Yes, this shoulder was still acting up a little bit. So 2 Thursdays ago, I didn't actually do practice because my shoulder was kind of out of joint. Not fully out of joint. I could still move it, but it hurt a lot. And then that morning, I woke up and rolled over in bed and popped it back in place. Fun times. It's still a little sore because it was partially out of socket and stretching things for like 4 days. So yeah, that Thursday I didn't do anything because we didn't have Sunday practice. And that Thursday I was a little bit cautious on it. If it started acting up a little bit, The last practice, the Monday video, I was at full practice, full time. I just had to rest a little bit. And it kind of was sore afterwards, but ice it. Everything's good and I'll be back at practice tonight, all out. Football uniform suit up. Aiden An says, what position do you play? I did not say in that video because I didn't think it was very pertinent. I played in that video. I was a cornerback, but I sucked. Took me 3 years to figure that one out, and now I play middle linebacker. 59. Cornerbacks they can, but usually they don't buy jerseys of Luke Kuechly. They usually would get like Richard Sherman or someone that is a cornerback. How TF do you move in so much stuff on that's useless? No, it's not. It's not useless. It's called actually being able to move when compression gear is on you. It's a strength thing. It's having the right fitting gear. That's pretty much that. It didn't suck. I could move while I was in that stuff if I was strong enough to be able to resist the compression gear from pulling my joints back into place. It's just, people think you wear too much. I'm like, what, do you play football naked? Had a bunch of Christian folks come through on various videos and let them do their happy jazz. Dream came in and said that she had her first football game. It was kind of scary for me. First, it was really fun. Amari, 3 days ago, said that his uncle got him a jersey and it goes great with his shoulder pads, bro. I'm so glad. I would honestly give you a thanks because you make awesome videos. Keep it up, bro. Thanks. Good work, man. Yep. I thumbs it up and I hearted that one because it's an honest to God compliment. I have no real response to it, but hearts are hearts. Maybe Johnny 513 says, what do you play for? I play for the AFBN, Hilversum Hurricanes. Our colors are blue and yellow. It'll come up later in the video. AFBN is American Football Bond Nederlands. That's the acronym, and it is the American Football League of the Netherlands, the entire country. Various other countries have their own. FIDAF for Italy is the Federazione Italiana. It's a day Amerikaans Football, FIDAF, something like that. And like all the various, I'm not going to pronounce the French one, but Germany just simplified it to GFL. You could have Nederlandse American Football League, but that would be like NAFL, and that would be weird. I know Finland calls themselves the Maple League, which is fine, but every country has their own, and ours is called AFBN. Frozen Thin Blue Line. I'm not going to give any credence to that rhetoric, but he asked, are y'all east side? No. That team, the Portland Pit Bulls, was actually on the west side of Portland, and I'm going to be super white and super autistic telling you that yes, it was on the west side of Portland, on the west side of the country. There were probably some people on that team that thought they were from the east side. In fact, they did live on the east side, literally and colloquially. But, there are reasons that I didn't work out very well on that team, because when you're east side, you aren't very homo-friendly. Brent Watt says he misses playing football. I bet someone like him in Europe could probably come over here and play very decently. I know that the United States and Canada have a lot of issues with what we call recreational or club ball, because there is stuff like the CFL and the NFL, and that if you are not doing that, you're not doing anything. Whereas in Europe, 98% of people play just general club sports, and there are sport clubs for everything, including throwing little steel balls called petanque, and a Dutch sport called korfbal, Look that one up, Korfbal. Yeah, anyways, Ryan Olson says, fun video, thumbs up. Unknown user, I had a long conversation with this one. I'm going to read his comment, I'm going to sync the conversation. How do these pads look so drippy on Theo, but I had these and my neck wasn't showing on the pads. I wear youth large and I'm a senior DN tackle. It was a fairly long conversation. We're going to go into some general advice and talking to him in the video here. You're a senior DN to tackle, okay? Taking a wild guess that you're a big guy. Seniors, especially in high school, are not small people. I know what 17 and 18-year-olds look like. We have a few on our team that graduated out of youth or are just going into college and they're maybe 19. In order to be a DN, you got to be pretty big. I mean, even our two DNs wear adult large pads. So if you're in youth large, and he says in the comments, he wears them 2 sizes smaller. So that's funky. I'm going to explain to you guys right now how to measure your pads. If you have what I call a clothing tape measure, the one that's very bendable, it's basically, you can roll it up into a tiny little circle like that one. If you have one of those, that's great. You can also use a ruler, but it's a bit funky. If you use a ruler, you're going to want to try to bring your shoulders back this far so that you have a straight line. If you have a clothing one, it works relatively okay. But again, even shoulder pads have a bit of error margin. So you want to measure. You realize this jersey is very bulky. So I'm going to show you guys. The point where you want to measure from, if you're using the clothing one, or if you're using the tape measure, because you're going to want to measure through this area. You want to pull your shoulder back a little. You want to pull your shoulder back to flatten that out a bit. And you're going to have someone else probably do it. It's beneficial for that. But you're going to start. The best part would be right where this little knock is, where your 3 shoulder muscles come together. You want to go from there to there. So raising your shoulders out to the side a little bit. And you can feel that. That's like the edge of your shoulder bone. That's where your collarbone, as you guys can see, collarbone comes out and stops right there. That's about where that's at. And you want to measure across the back. That is your shoulder pad width. Currently, my adult medium shoulder pads are 17 to 18 inches. So you have 16 to 17 for adult small, 17 to 18, 18 to 19, 19 to 20, and then above that. Now, I do understand that if you have really bulky shoulders, this is going to go from here. You know, you've got, an extra inch on that one. That's relatively okay because the shoulder pads are not measured from the very outside. They're measured from where the shoulder plate part comes in, not these things, where this comes up. So that's what you want to measure for. Okay, we're going to put the jersey back on now. But that's where you measure from. Now, if you want to have a drippy look, you can go a little bit bigger, like 1 size bigger is what I would do, especially if you're 16 to 17 and you measure it and it's like 17 and a quarter. Technically that's adult medium, but you could probably get away with skill pads. I have Zenith Element hybrids, so they're built for running backs and linebackers. So they are generally bulkier. So that's the reason why. You want your pads to look drippy? There's a reason why there are skill pads and there are lineman pads, and Zenith and other companies make some semblance of hybrid pads. And then getting the right size. Do not wear 2 sizes lower, or especially youth pads. We have a receiver who wears Youth XL and he is small. I would never put Kevin on a high school, an American or Canadian high school senior team as a D end. I would put him at a receiver, a wide out receiver. He is fast. He has barely any weight to him in comparison to offensive linemen. So I do understand that perhaps you want to have a slim look so that they don't bun. But this is football. You need to look, you want the pads to function well for you. If your pads function well for you, that's fine. But if you want them to function and look right and have that nice, this look on your body, that V'd look, gotta get shoulder pads that are properly sized. And youth pads are a little bit different because they may have the same length, but they're Also a little bit skinnier this way. So rather than arching, they arch. So it's awkward with shoulder pads. I know a lot of people want to have glitz and glam and bling and drip for what things look like. And I know that it looks funky when you have pads way too big for you. But like we had a guy who was wearing XL pads because that's all the club had is extra ones. And then he tried on my old smalls and he was phenomenally better because the shoulder pads were not dancing around. I do not know what it's like to wear smaller pads than you're supposed to. I have not attempted to try on Youth XL because I'm not small like. Dirty 30 asks on Monday's video, finding the right outlet. What kind of diet are you implementing with your exercise regimen? Do you track any of your caloric or protein intake? I do not. My diet is relatively the same as it always has been. I really like what I eat. Maintaining consistent food helps my brain much more than eating the right food, per se. Not saying that I eat very unhealthily. I mean, I have a bowl of Krautnoten right now, and that's pretty much been most of my breakfast, but that's mostly carbs. Do I track my protein intake? No. I just know that if I do a really heavy set in the gym and my dinner is not destined to have an absolute butt ton of meat, I'm gonna probably have a protein shake. But that's it. I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm trying not to bulk up on a bunch of stuff. Like today, Krautnoten was my breakfast. And that's bullshit. And I'm probably gonna go downstairs to the supermarket and get like a cheese sandwich and couscous with vitikas and some other stuff. And then I'll have a protein shake after practice before I come home. So that's pretty much the food I'm having for the day. And like I said, I'm not really tracking my calories because a lot of things around here are really hard to find. A lot of my FitnessPal is designed for the United States or Canada, and finding things in Dutch on that website is really hard. And then translating it over, it wants to give it to me in imperial units and not metric units, and it's just very frustrating because I don't even know. The only thing I know how much stuff I eat is the meat in tacos, because I know I buy 600 grams and each of my tacos, and that's 300 grams per person on 2 tacos, which are very large burritos, and is 150 grams of 10% beef. That's it. That's all I know. Most of the time we're getting Tausch besorgt, but I'm not really tracking. I am losing weight, and my strength is increasing since the shoulder popped out of joint. Things are a little weak around there. However, I had the previous elbow problem, also from practice. Football is banging up my body, but I'm still getting in chest and I'm still getting in legs to keep the muscle that I have, and I am improving. I'm working more on legs with explosivity rather than raw strength. So I need to get low and I need to pop up and make those receivers baptized. I'm gonna attempt to do that one tonight if I get the opportunity, because my line coach was like, "Oh, come on, Theo, you could have hit him harder." I'm like, I know I could have. I know I just gator rolled him to the ground and technically he didn't fall right away. Come on, I know. So that's pretty much that for comments. Okay, so moving on to the news section. We have our first game is the 3rd of October, so expect October 4th to be a game day vlog. Put that in your calendars, put it on a reminder, all that stuff. That morning, you will have a game day vlog of sorts. I will hopefully be able, considering that the game is taking place in Amsterdam against the Amsterdam Panthers. It's an away game, so you'll be in the white uniforms. And we'll see about a new piece of undergear for that one here in the future news segment. So that will be there. I should be able to get home and get to sleep, get up, and then edit most of the morning for me. And then I'll be able to have that ready to go live my afternoon. So you guys will have a game day vlog, and I'll try to make it more of a game day vlog than much anything else. Aaron will be on the sidelines recording all this stuff. We'll bring this up in future Sundays. Speaking of Sundays, I have practice tonight, but I do not on Sunday. So Monday, the football video for Monday is just going to be me doing random things. I'm not sure what. It might be me sitting out at my computer. It might be doing various things. I might be just talking about Panthers games. Who knows? And that could be fun. Because I did watch the previous Panthers game against the Jets. and that was kind of fun to watch. But anyways, so we have that, but then for me, Tuesday will be also a practice, because since we do not have it on Sunday, because Team NL, the Team Netherlands, is having their tryouts on both Saturday and Sunday, I can't attend. I don't have a Dutch passport. I'm not a Dutch national. So I get to be here, I get to rest up and do all those various things with, you know, my husband. And then Tuesday I'll have a practice at night. And then Thursday again, we'll have another practice at night. And this is a bit awkward because a lot of my teammates are going to be going to the Dutch Lions tryout and then coming to practice on Tuesday and then doing a practice on Thursday. And then we're going to have apparently a double practice on Saturday. One at our typical early afternoon time, so like 11 to 1, and then another one later. We do not have a time on that one. That following Sunday, we will be scrimmaging the Crusaders out at Crusaders Field, because ours is still under construction. Grass takes a while to grow, guys, apparently. But yeah, that's that. And then that scrimmage will happen. Then we'll have our normal break. We'll have a Thursday practice, and then we'll be moving into the season. After this, you're going to have a lot more football content out of me up until the game day vlog, and then I'll figure out what is coming from that one. So if you wanted more football content, you're going to be getting more football content. We'll figure out more. If like this goes absolutely off the rails and crazy, I may add in another day, but we'll figure it out. We're currently still Mondays and Fridays for content. Okay, so now on to new gear announcements. All right, so I've had some compliments on some undergear that I've had in the past. I got this actually at a Goodwill back in the United States, and it's very fortuitous that I actually have this for this team because Hilversum's colors are blue and yellow. And I've been wearing this one as much as I can to games because it does actually match the home uniform. We have more yellow on our home uniform than our away uniform, because blue is the primary. So white takes over for the blue, blue takes over for the yellow. Makes sense. So I picked up one for the away uniform. It doesn't scrunch up at the bottom like the other one does. It's just a regular flat shirt. So yeah, it's still a little bit better. I actually do like it. I tried it on yesterday. It works out. It's, you know, fitted, medium. It's not compression. As you guys can see, it's faded, but that says compression. I just think it's really faded. Yeah. Whereas this, fitted. It's fine. It still works. It's a little baggy, but it still works as, you know, slick material to be able to vent and pull off my pads. And then, just in case I want to wear it differently with the home uniform, I picked up one yellow with blue. It's basically the inverse, as y'all can see. So yeah, these are probably going to be worn with the home. This will probably be worn with the away. But again, I don't know if I want to wear that yellow one with the home. It could be interesting to have such a glaring difference. I don't know, but this is definitely for the away. Anyways, I will, let's see. So we've got that. Okay, that feels like everything for news. That's all my new gear. That's the season, the upcoming schedule, and all the comments. All right. I'm going to get myself prepped and ready. I'm going to rethread my belt through my pants because I washed them, and I'm probably not going to wash them much until next weekend. It's going to be super gross that I'm going to go through 4 practices with so gross. Anyways, I will chat with you guys out at Hilversum. I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to record. It is drastically getting dark super fast. We do not have any rain clouds coming in, so that should be fine. But yeah, it gets dark, and then we go into Oklahoma's, and I want to participate in that one. So setting up the camera might be a bit awkward. Hoi allemaal. We are not having practice tonight. The team is having practice, but there's a massive train outage here in the Netherlands. Massive. I'm gonna have to cut this vlog short. You guys don't get to see any practice. Train there, there's trains all over the place. Train there, trains all over the place. Everybody stopped, everybody's backed up. There's an intercity on the other side of that one. I mean, my train would have left 10 minutes ago to get to practice relatively on time. If I can catch the 7 o'clock train, and it leaves at 7 o'clock, and everything is on time, relatively normal, and not clusterfucked, sorry for the language, but I'm a little PO'd right now, but you can't do much of anything. It is what it is.
Beste reizigers, om veiligheidsredenen is er tenminste tot 1900 uur geen treinverkeer mogelijk. Het is nog niet bekend hoe lang dit zal duren. Stel uw reizen zoveel mogelijk uit. Raadpleeg de site van uw vervoerder voor meer informatie.
See, so, I know you guys don't understand Dutch, but that's it. I got all my gear and everything. Everything was washed and ready to go. It sucks. Yeah, that's it. That's the vlog, guys. Life happens, and with the tryouts happening on this weekend, I do not have any practice. So yeah, tomorrow I will probably go pretty heavy at the gym with legs. I may just do everything. And then, yeah, I've already called out of practice with time schedules and all that stuff. I cannot get out there. So yeah, it would have been possible should I have lived maybe in Hilversum or something and gotten a quick ride and taken an OV Fates or something. I don't know. But, whereas if I lived in Hilversum, I would just ride my own bike. But yeah, sorry. Life is what it is. Shitty way to end a football video. The entire Netherlands communication system for the trains went down, and they can't drive anywhere due to safety, and they can't change the switches. That's what's up. They can't change the switches. They can't signal that there's an oncoming train or the train ahead of them. There's just nothing. The trains can move. You hear all those sounds. That's the air conditioners running on the trains. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on Monday's video. I'll do something. Who knows? And then the whole real crazy thing next week with the Wednesday. So there will be a Monday, a Wednesday, a Friday, and then a lot of videos coming out in the weekend. I don't know how this next week's gonna go, but this was not a great week to start.